Hey guys, today I'm going to tell you an incredible story about one of the most beautiful and energetic parties in Salvador, the Festa do Senhor do Bonfim. There are so many cool things that happen at this party that it even seems like a magical tale. Let's go? Did you know that all this started back in the 18th century? That's that. A group of fishermen found an image of Senhor do Bonfim in the region of Itapajipe in Salvador. Imagine the surprise and delight they felt. This image was taken to the Church of Bonfim, where it began to be venerated with great faith and love. Since then, Senhor do Bonfim has become a symbol of hope for the entire city, and little by little, his fame has spread throughout Brazil. Today, he is one of the most beloved and respected saints, even if few people know much about his life story. It doesn't matter because your positive energy touches everyone. The Lavagem do Bonfim, this very special tradition that makes Salvador's heart beat faster. Did you know that it has been happening for over 250 years? That's that. It all started in the 18th century, when Salvador was still a city full of contrasts, with European, African, and indigenous influences mixing. And it is exactly from this mixture that this unique and meaningful celebration was born. Let me tell you a little more about this story, because it's fascinating. In the beginning, washing was not the way we know it today. It began as a practical activity. The enslaved, who were responsible for taking care of the cleaning and organization of the Church of Bonfim, climbed from Comercio to the hill where the church is located to wash the space before the religious festivities. But like everything in Salvador, even a simple job gained a touch of culture, faith, and joy. The enslaved took with them elements of African traditions such as songs, dances, and rituals, which were mixed with Catholic devotion to the Lord of Bonfim. Thus, the act of washing the church was transformed into a unique celebration, full of symbolism. As time went by, washing took on a new meaning. Today, it is much more than cleaning the church stairs. It is a moment of purification, devotion, and also of gratitude. And you know what's more incredible? This tradition has crossed generations and remains alive today. Year after year, thousands of people gather to participate in this exciting walk that leaves the Comercio neighborhood and goes to the Bonfim Church at the top of the sacred hill. And who does the washing? The protagonists are the Baianas do Acarajé, with their traditional white clothes, turbans, and baskets full of flowers and pots of scented water. They go ahead, carrying this fragrant water, which is thrown on the steps of the church as a gesture of purification and blessing. It is a beautiful spectacle to see, full of color, music, and energy. But it's not just the Baians who participate. No, the wash attracts a crowd. Thousands of people, including residents of Salvador, tourists, politicians, and devotees, follow. This procession full of joy and faith. Everyone dressed in white, singing, dancing, and celebrating together. It is impossible not to be moved by the unity and the atmosphere of peace that take over the streets on that day. Now, talking about Itapajipe, where it all started, this neighborhood is incredible. It has a special energy that mixes history, culture, and the daily life of Salvador. Security there is reasonable, but as anywhere in a big city, it's always good to be aware. The population is very diverse, with many families who have lived in the neighborhood for generations. This creates a very strong community atmosphere where everyone ends up getting to know each other. It's like a big family neighborhood. On a day-to-day basis, the neighborhood has a very busy commercial life. You can find everything: markets, bakeries, clothing stores, and even fishmongers with fresh seafood. This is because many residents still maintain a relationship with the sea, whether by work or tradition. On weekends, Itapajipe is a party. People love to walk along the shore, enjoy the sea breeze, and enjoy the sunset, which is simply spectacular. The region is also known for having great places to eat, with options for acarajé, moquecas, and other Bahian delicacies. Another cool thing is that Itapajipe is close to the city center, about 8 to 10 kilometers depending on the path you take. This makes it much easier to access other parts of Salvador, whether for work, study, or play. And speaking of studying, The neighborhood has good options for schools, both public and private, which serve from children to teenagers. Education in the region is highly valued by local families, and many schools promote cultural events that help preserve the traditions of Bahia. As for the cost of living in Itapajipe can be more affordable than in more central and trendy neighborhoods of Salvador. Rent, for example, tends to be cheaper, and the cost of food and transportation is not so heavy either. But that doesn't mean the neighborhood isn't full of opportunities. Large companies and local businesses help to move the economy of the region. In addition, tourism linked to the Bonfim Church attracts visitors all year round, which generates jobs in areas such as commerce, services, and hospitality. So, in short, Itapajipe is not only the place where the story of Lord of Bonfim began. It is a lively neighborhood, full of culture, faith, and incredible people. It is a little piece of Salvador that is worth knowing and living, where every corner holds a story and every corner has something special to offer. If you don't know it yet, here's the invitation. Now, hold this. The Bonfim Festival is one of the most incredible parties that Salvador has. During this event, it seems that the entire city is transformed into a great celebration full of joy, faith, and cultural traditions that touch everyone's hearts. The highlight of this party is the famous Lavagem do Bonfim, a ritual so beautiful and exciting that it is difficult to describe with words. I'll try to explain it in a way that you feel like you're there. It all starts early in the morning, in the Comercio neighborhood in Salvador. It is there that people gather, dressed in white, a color that symbolizes purity, peace, and devotion. It looks like a big white sea forming, with people smiling, singing, and dancing to typical songs. The crowd gathers with a lot of energy and heads towards the Church of Bonfim, which is about 8 kilometers away. And don't think it's just walking, no! It is a procession full of animation, marked by drums, songs, and a lot of positive vibe. Who accompanies this journey? Everyone. There are entire families, children, young people, the elderly, groups of friends, and even tourists who come from far away just to live this unique experience. In addition, many Baianas do Acaraje participate dressed in typical costumes, carrying pots of scented water for washing. This ritual is the most special moment. When the Bahians arrive in front of the church, they wash the stairs with this fragrant water in a symbolic gesture of purification and respect. It's too beautiful to see. And what about the purpose of this party? It mixes faith, tradition, and a strong sense of community. For the residents of Salvador, it is a way of thanking for the blessings received and making new requests to the Lord of Bonfim. And even for those who do not follow this belief, the party is a moment of celebration of life, Bahian culture, and all that this wonderful land has to offer. But it doesn't stop there. During the journey, you will see a gigantic crowd. Each year, the Lavagem do Bonfim brings together thousands and thousands of people. There are so many people that it seems that Salvador's heart beats faster on that day. And in the midst of all this excitement, the white of the clothes makes everything even more beautiful, creating an atmosphere of unity that moves anyone. And there's more. In addition to walking and washing, there are still several other activities such as the run I mentioned. It's a lively and wholesome way to celebrate, with many participants running through the streets in that festive atmosphere. So just imagine, while some run, others sing, dance, pray, or simply enjoy the moment with a smile on their faces. It is impossible not to fall in love with the Bonfim Festival. If you haven't participated yet, you need to put this on your list of things to do in life. It is a celebration that combines devotion, culture, and joy in a way that only Salvador knows how to do, and you can be sure you will leave there with a heart full of good energy and unforgettable memories. The tradition of politicians accompanying the Lavagem do Bonfim is old. In Salvador, this event is also seen as an important moment to demonstrate proximity to the population, listen to the demands of the people, and reinforce the commitment to the city. And don't think that they just watch. No, Many of them make a point of wearing white, like everyone else, and walk the 8 kilometer from Comercio to the Bonfim church with the crowd. It is a striking and, in a way, symbolic scene. Authorities and citizens, sharing the same space, moved by the same spirit of celebration and faith. In recent years, the presence of politicians has gained even more visibility, mainly because the Lavagem do Bonfim is an event that attracts local and national media. Mayors, governors, councilors, and even federal deputies and senators usually show up, either to accompany the procession or to participate in interviews along the way. They take the opportunity to reinforce promises and commitments to the city, but also to celebrate and honor the culture and faith of the Bahian people. And the most interesting thing is that, regardless of political differences, the party is a space of union. Even in years of fierce disputes, such as at election times, the atmosphere of Lavagem do Bonfim always remains respectful and full of positive energy. Even former presidents and national political figures have participated at some point, showing that the event transcends borders and personal interests. So if you're there, you might even bump into a famous politician walking through the crowd, smiling and chatting with the locals. This is the face of Salvador, a city that knows how to mix tradition, culture, faith, and of course, that good dose of democracy in its celebrations. The Bonfim Festival is this: everyone together in the simplest and truest way, celebrating life, faith, and the joy of being in Salvador. Oh, and the white clothes! There's no way not to talk about them. Have you ever noticed how everyone seems to be in perfect harmony with that immensity of people dressed in white? It's beautiful to see, and it even gives a feeling of peace just by looking at it. These white clothes are not just a beautiful detail, no. They have a very special meaning. They symbolize purity, faith, and devotion. It is as if each person there is showing through their clothes that they have an open heart to live that very important moment. And this gives a magical touch to the procession, which is already exciting in itself. Now, the ribbons of Señor do Bonfim. These are the face of Salvador, right? Who has never seen or heard of them? In addition to being super colorful and cheerful, they carry a deep meaning. Each of them represents a request, a promise, or even a thank you. And do you know how it works? When you tie the ribbon around your wrist, you have to tie 3 knots. But here's the secret. For every knot you give, you make a wish. And they say that if you let the ribbon break on its own, without pulling or cutting, the orders have a great chance of coming true. Have you ever thought how incredible? What's more, these ribbons are not only on people's wrists. No, they decorate everything. They are tied to gates, trees, bags, and, of course, around the railing of the Church of Bonfim. It's as if they were small pieces of faith scattered everywhere. And the most beautiful thing about it all is that each ribbon carries a story. It can be a mother's request for health for her child, someone's dream for a better job, or even a simple thank you for something that went well in life. The ribbons have also become a symbol of Bahia, did you know? There is no way to visit Salvador and not take at least one of them as a souvenir. They are a little piece of the city's energy, a way to carry the faith and Bahian culture with you wherever you go. And the best, it's super easy to find. There are in the shops, with street vendors, and even in the hands of residents who distribute with a smile on their faces. It's as if everyone wants to share a little of the magic of Señor do Bonfim. So, when you go to the Bonfim Festival, get ready to feel this unique energy. Put on your white clothes, grab your ribbon, and get in the mood. Who knows? Maybe you don't make your requests, and on top of that, still live an experience that will stay in your heart forever. Because look, if there's one thing Salvador knows how to do, it's to transform faith and tradition into an unforgettable party. But guys, the most amazing thing about this party is how it manages to mix so many cultures in such a natural and magical way. Did you know that the Bonfim Festival is not just a Catholic celebration? Well, it carries a very strong influence of candomblé, which makes everything even richer, more colorful, and full of meaning. It is as if two traditions, which are already so powerful in themselves, came together to create something unique, which only Salvador can offer. You can feel this energy in the air. In Candomblé, the dances, songs, and rituals are super striking and always full of purpose. And during the party, you see it in every corner. The Bahians, for example, dressed in their white clothes, which represent purity, are not just there to look good, no. They carry with them a whole history of resistance and ancestry. When you see the Bahians dancing or singing, it's as if you're watching a direct connection with the African roots that are so important to Salvador. It's impossible not to get goosebumps. And then there is the famous washing of the stairs. Oh, this is a scene you'll never forget if you get the chance to witness it. It is a symbolic act full of emotion and meaning. Just imagine. Faithful of all ages, many wearing white clothes, others bringing flowers and pots of scented water, going up to the church of Bonfim. When they get there, they begin to wash the steps with all their care, throwing this water as if they were cleaning not only the place, but also renewing their energies and giving thanks for all the blessings received. And the most beautiful thing about all of this is that washing is not just about cleaning the steps of a church. It's about purification, about leaving behind what you no longer do well and making room for good things. It is as if each bucket of water carries a little of the hopes and dreams of those who are there. You look at people and see smiles, tears of emotion, chants, and prayers. It is a moment of unity, in which each gesture seems to say, "We are together, renewing our faith and our strength." And what makes it even more special is this unique blend between the Catholic faith and Afro-Brazilian traditions. It is a celebration of respect and coexistence, where different ways of believing and celebrating meet and create something greater. Salvador is really a magical place, right? Here, each corner, each ritual, each smile carries a history, a culture, a special way of seeing the world. In addition to all the devotion, it is a moment of fun for the whole family. There is music, dance, typical food, and lots of entertainment through the streets of the city. It's that kind of party that makes you want to come back every year because it's pure good energy. And now let me tell you something that a lot of people love. In addition to all the religious and devotional part, the Bonfim Festival also has that profane side that is pure fun. It is as if the whole of Salvador got into the mood and decided to turn this celebration into a real party for all tastes. It doesn't matter if you're there for faith, culture, or music. There's room for everyone. While the faithful walk, say prayers, and participate in the washing, the city is filled with events, concerts, and lots of entertainment. There's music everywhere. Salvador breathes music, and it couldn't be different during the Bonfim Festival. Do you know what's cooler? Many local artists and even big names in national music participate in these events. You can find paid shows on stages around the city, parties in clubs, crowded bars, electric trios playing in the streets. It's an amazing vibe. And the public? It's a mix of everything. Tourists who came from far away to feel this unique energy. Residents of Salvador who already have the party in their hearts, and even those who take advantage of the moment to enjoy and relax after a year of hard work. It's a crowd full of joy, dancing, singing, and connecting with the energy of the party in a more relaxed way. These paid shows, for example, usually bring a first-rate structure, lights, quality sound, and artists who know how to put everyone up. It is not uncommon to see singers of axe, foro, samba, and even electronic music cheering up the public during this time. It's as if Salvador wanted to make sure that no one stood still. And you know what's better? Even those who do not participate in the paid events end up feeling the energy of the shows, because the party atmosphere takes over the entire city. Oh, and there are private parties, which are also super popular. Often, families and groups of friends get together at home or in rented spaces to have that barbecue, listen to music, and enjoy the day. It is as if each corner of Salvador had its own way of celebrating Bonfim. And all this happens at the same time as the wash is going on. So you have the perfect contrast. On the one hand, faith and tradition, with the Bahians, the white clothes, the purification, and the promises. On the other, the music, dancing, and contagious joy of the more relaxed events. It's as if the party said, "There's room for everyone here. If you've never experienced this mix, I'll warn you. Get ready for a complete experience." At the Bonfim Festival, you feel faith in the procession and you finish dancing in the shows. It's the perfect balance between spirituality and fun. Salvador knows how to mix the sacred and the profane, and that is what makes this celebration so special and unforgettable. If you get the chance, don't miss it for anything. It is an energy that only those who have lived it can understand. The Bonfim Festival is simply unforgettable. In addition to the traditional religious celebrations, the city of Salvador was filled with music and joy, with several shows that cheered up residents and tourists. One of the highlights was the Viva Bonfim event, held on January 16, 2025, at Bahia Marina. Great attractions such as Banda Eva, Zand Avião, and Henry Freitas took the stage, providing moments of pure fun for the audience present. In addition, the program included several parades and parties along the circuit between the Church of Conceição da Praia and the Sacred Hill. Traditional groups such as Filhos de Gandhi, Ile Aye, and Muzenza were present, keeping the cultural roots of Bahia alive. Parties such as the Samba Sagrado, with performances by Terra Samba and Samba Trotter, also stirred up the revelers. The combination of faith, tradition, and music made the Bonfim Festival a memorable event, reinforcing the importance of this celebration in the hearts of Bahians and everyone who had the opportunity to experience it. The Bonfim Festival is not only about faith and tradition, it is also an explosion of culture and music that moves Salvador year after year. In addition to the processions and the washing of the staircase of the Church of Bonfim, the city vibrates with an incredible cultural program, full of concerts and events that attract crowds. Let's remember the most memorable shows of 2025 and previous years. Now, going back a little in time, the previous years also had unforgettable moments. In 2024, the main show was a real spectacle with Ivete Sangalo and Bel Marquez, who filled the streets and thrilled revelers with Axé classics. It was a year marked by the return of large gatherings after times of restrictions, which made everything even more special. In parallel, events such as Axé Bonfim on the edge of Ribeira brought local bands and emerging artists, valuing the music scene in Bahia. In 2023, the mix of styles was highlighted, with an event that featured performances by Alceu Valença, Margareth Menezes, and Saulo Fernandes. The musical diversity was the highlight, pleasing both those who love the northeastern roots and the classics of Axé. This year also brought a program dedicated to the young audience, with DJs and themed parties held in clubs near the Sacred Hill. And who remembers 2022? This year was marked by a gradual return to celebrations, with smaller but no less exciting events. Even with some restrictions, artists such as Harmonia do Samba and Denny Danan, Carlinhos Brown, cheered up the audience in intimate and long-awaited shows. The Bonfim Festival is just that, a perfect mix of devotion, joy, and music. Each year brings a new chapter of this celebration, always valuing the local culture and connecting people from all corners. So, have you lived this experience? If not, plan for next year, because the Bonfim Festival is unforgettable in every way. If you're planning to go to the Bonfim Festival, you must already be super excited to experience all the energy of this incredible celebration. But before throwing yourself into the party, there are some things you need to know to ensure that the day is wonderful and without unforeseen events. So come with me and I'll tell you everything you need to keep in mind. First, let's talk about the basics. What you're going to use. This party involves a long journey, with the procession and processions through the streets of Salvador. So the ideal is to choose comfortable sneakers. It may not seem like it, but believe me, you will walk a lot. The party is full of energy with a lot of people and various activities, so you can't go in flip-flops or uncomfortable shoes. Bet on sneakers that you have worn before, that do not hurt your foot, and of course, that are resistant to withstand all the movement of the party. Now, a super important thing that many people forget is hydration. The heat of Salvador in January can be very strong, and with so many people and so much movement, the body ends up dehydrating quickly. So, remember to drink plenty of water. Take your bottle with you, especially if you're going to be on the street for several hours. Water is essential to stay well and enjoy the party with energy. And since we're talking about security, it's good to keep an eye on personal belongings. Like any popular festival, there may be some people trying to take advantage of the crowd, to do something wrong, such as theft or robbery. So, keep your valuables well, such as your cell phone, wallet, and documents. Try to use a fanny pack or a small backpack that is very secure and close to your body so you avoid surprises. It is also important to avoid taking unnecessary things. The fewer things you have, the easier it will be to enjoy the party and move around. Skip items that are expensive or don't really need during the event and focus on making the most of the celebration. Also, if you go with children or the elderly, pay extra attention. As the party has a lot of people, it is easy to get lost. So if you go with someone in the family, set up a meeting point if you separate. Mobile phone with a full battery is a good idea to ensure that you can easily contact others if you need. 2. And a golden tip. Protect yourself from the sun. The party takes place during the day, so it's good to apply sunscreen so you don't end up with all red and irritated skin after enjoying so much. Also, bring a hat or cap, as the sun in Salvador can be very strong. And of course, remember to respect the local culture. The Bonfim festival is an event of faith and tradition, so when participating, always be respectful of everyone involved in the celebrations. If you're there to enjoy the music and the joy, you'll also see how people revere religion and the saint. So, go with an open mind, respecting the beauty of the party and its traditions. With these tips, you will enjoy the Bonfim festival with much more tranquility and safety, enjoying every moment without worries. And of course, don't forget to get into the party mood, whether with your Bonfim ribbon, with a smile on your face, or with the joy of being there, surrounded by so much good energy. It's going to be an amazing experience, for sure. Take care, enjoy, and have a lot of fun. So guys, did you like to know everything about the Bonfim Festival? Certainly, this is one of the most exciting and energetic parties that Salvador has to offer, with a mix of faith, music, culture, and traditions that make it a unique event. If you're planning to go, now you know everything you need to do to enjoy the party safely, comfortably, and with a lot of joy, right? Remember to wear comfortable sneakers, drink plenty of water, protect your belongings, and throw yourself into the party with respect and animation. And if you didn't know this, party yet, or never had the chance to participate, I hope you felt like living this incredible experience. I'm sure that, when you're there, you'll feel all the positive energy that only the people of Bahia know how to transmit. If you like this video and want to know more about other festivals, traditions, and curiosities in Salvador and Brazil, don't forget to give that like and subscribe to the channel. This helps me bring you even more cool content. And of course, leave your comment below saying what else you would like to know or what impressed you most about the Bonfim Festival. Stay with God and see you in the next video. Let's celebrate and explore all that our land has to offer together. See you later.